Welcome to Reach for Healing. I'm Rebecca, and I'm coming to you tonight to talk about something that might seem initially like it doesn't belong in a spiritual channel. And that is something that's going to sound political. It is, I guess, but it's more spiritual. So bear with me. Often, when we see things taking place in the world, injustices or tragedies, we can feel overwhelmed. And often we'd like to help, but we have no idea how to help. And then we look at our own life and realize that we're doing all we can do just to put one foot in front of the other every day and take care of ourselves and our families. And even to add something else onto that would be really just not workable. And so I think that we either stop listening or we become numb to the tragedies that we hear about on the news. So tonight I'm going to suggest that we have a little bit more power to do things, and it doesn't require getting on an airplane or a bus or even spending any money. Although you can always give money to causes that support the things you believe in. But tonight I'm going to share with you an idea that I have for one of the most egregious challenges in the United States today, and that is the separation of children from their families at the southern border of our country, and then the subsequent detaining of these children in what many have called cages, or certainly prison like circumstances. It's easy to feel that we can't do much other than vote, other than write to our legislators, but we can. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that anybody dialing into this channel has a fairly regular spiritual practice of some sort, whether you meditate daily, whether you read spiritual literature, whether you spend time in prayer and prayerful contemplation, whether you participate in organized religion or not. My guess is that at some level, you're a spiritual person with a life that is connected to the divine in some level. Now, as I say repeatedly on this channel and as I write in my blog at practitionerspath.wordpress.com, I talk about being someone that practices spiritual metaphysics. And spiritual metaphysics is a little bit different than traditional religion in that we believe that, among other things, that what we put our attention on changes. And so I'm going to suggest that each and every one of us that feels so compelled to add some positive energy to the situation at our southern border can actually work together to effect change. And the way that we can is similar to the turning of the golden key that I talk about in my golden key minutes, but it's slightly different. What we're going to do in our time of meditation or our time of prayer or our time of spiritual practice each day is to take 30 seconds to 1 minute only and simply visualize and know that those detention centers are being opened. The children are being not only set free, but reunited with their families and loved ones, and that the detention centers are being forever closed. If everyone who had a concern about those detention centers and who had some sort of spiritual practice spent 30 seconds to 1 minute every day visualizing this and knowing this to be the truth, I know that change would come. And so I'm issuing a little bit of a challenge. I'm issuing a challenge to myself as much as to anyone here listening tonight, that's starting today, right here and right now, each and every one of us that believes that the detaining of children and youth, adolescents and babies in prisons, in detention centers, separate from their families, is wrong and needs to end. I invite you to join me as I set aside my 30 seconds to 1 minute each day to know the truth, to live in the end, as Neville Goddard would say, in the end being the opening of the doors, the reunification of families, and the closing permanently of any kind of program or center to detain children. I believe in the power of collective consciousness, and I know we can make a difference. I hope you'll join me. Until next time, take care.